Yeah. DPNews crew rolling, Tampa Bay invasion. Cameras locked, lenses popping, no hesitation. Mic cord stretched like a spider's web knit. Capturing the vibes, journalism legit.
Okay, I'm Coach Caines, and I'm here with a very special guest, Gabriel Castleman. And applause precedes the introduction because I've got a lot of students that are important to this program, and Gabriel visited our class today. And before I let you talk a little bit about like what it is you did here and maybe some things you're doing now, I just wanted to say that there are very few students that really shape the way that we roll as a program. And when you were here as a former student, you were so committed to making us better that it made me as a teacher want to be better. It made me try harder, teach harder. It's like, wait, there's no way I'm gonna let this student outshine me. And so just your genuine passion and commitment to DPNews while you were here is so special. STN Nights has been a series where we're interviewing students about their STN experience. And since you're visiting today, I'm gonna let you everybody know when you graduated, what you did in the program, and maybe a little bit about what you're doing now. So without further ado, let's get it one more time. Gabriel Castleman.
Good to be here. Good to be here. Thank you for having me. So I was a student. I graduated in 2023.
Yep.
Yeah. Since then, I've been a student at RIT in Rochester, New York. And now I'm visiting here. It's good to be back. I showed up, and there's certainly way more bling on the walls than when I left. So that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, why don't we just, while we're sitting in this new building, new space, I know it's kind of like a difficult process. You were part of that group that was supposed to maybe get a chance to be in this space, and construction delays.
Slight miss.
Yeah. So what's it like finally seeing it like now truly in its splendor? It's taken a couple years to get to this point.
Yeah, well, when we first came in here, I was skeptical about a lot of things, especially like the layout and how production was going to work. But I really think you all have figured it out, and you've got a great system now, and it looks amazing to see everyone working. I came in like at peak grind time before the show, and it was really cool to see everyone in their different spaces working and getting ready and then running the show. I think you've definitely really filled in the space well.
Yeah. This room has gone through some iterations, to say the least.
Yeah.
And so it's been exciting to do that. All right, why don't you tell me a little bit about RIT and where that's taking you, and what are you hoping to do?
Well, I'll start by saying this is just the story I like to tell, because initially I came out of high school really wanting to do computer science, and I applied to all the UCs, and I didn't really get in anywhere, which was kind of crushing for me. But I found RIT. It was just one of the random schools that I applied to, and they had a program called Motion Picture Science. And so that's where I've ended up. And that's a fusion of just a lot of production, film production, documentary work, with, on top of that, tons of math, science, engineering behind all of the film technology. And that's been really awesome, and it's led me lots of places. This summer, actually, in a few days, I'm heading up to the Bay Area to intern at NVIDIA. So my computer science dreams are kind of coming true a bit. But through all that, I learned a ton. And I still really love film, animation, broadcast. Yeah.
I love it. Okay. And will you tell a little bit about your time here at DPNews in terms of like the primary roles by the time of your senior year, as best you can recall? I know that was...
Yeah, so I mean, I like to think back to where it all started at one of my first interactions with Mr. Cain. I don't know if you remember this. Do you know what I'm going to say?
I don't, but
okay,
I'm going to find out.
My very first day, we were sitting down in T3. That's the old room that was just like your average classroom. And I was at one of the computers just like very bored, I'm not going to lie, because you were going over some basic stuff. And at that point, I'd already been really interested in like editing and videography and all that kind of thing. And I found myself with a push pin. Do you remember this?
I don't.
Oh my. I found myself with a push pin. And there's some dirt in the bottom of the mouse. And I was scraping it out. And Mr. Caines came over to me, and he started like going off. Because I think from your perspective, it looked like I was pushing the pin into the sensor of the mouse. And you were like, you did the whole thing. You were like, I got to get down on your level. This is like, I'm going to eject you from the program. Yeah, that was my first. I can't believe you don't remember
no.
that. That was my first interaction with you ever.
Wow.
Fortunately, that didn't fully set the tone.
Whew,
I was
yes.
like, little misunderstanding. I'm not gonna take it too much. Besides it giving a look into the real Mr. Caines. But that's where it started, and from there, I remember just going along, learning the basics, getting better at working with others. I think was huge early on, just because I had done a lot of videography stuff by myself and working on small teams and all that kind of stuff was huge my first year. Shout out to Ben Bishop for being Ben Bishop and kind of showing me that sometimes you can just like take charge and do your own thing. Hopefully, I try to like step back once I'm done.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. Then from there, I think through second and third year, I really got into it. Spent a lot of time with like the technology, and I really loved working with what we had because at that point, our equipment was not what it is today, and so it was like a little challenge for me figuring out how to make the best of it all. And eventually, I worked my way through. I think deep COVID, I spent a lot of time, me and Allison, working on that, and we created some new workflows. And by the time we were coming back from COVID, I think we were really ready to shine. Me and Allison were executive producers, and we made it happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I gave you I gave you flowers at the start, but as we jokingly said, hey, there's a lot of hardware on the walls now. Like, if you start looking at the dates of some of those things, like 2023, it's when it changed.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a shifting point for sure.
Huge shifting point. I'd be hard pressed to say much, if anything, is pre-2023 in terms of like the national stage of student journalism.
Yeah.
And it's not that the kids weren't making great work. It's just,
Yeah.
and that's such a short time. I mean, it's 2026, right?
Yeah.
There are programs that have been on the map for a decade plus.
Yeah.
And when we talk to people, it's like, oh, wow, you guys have been good for so long and all these things. It's like, no, this has been so much happening, ramping up to that kind of precipitating year of 2023 when we turned the corner. And you and Allison were a big part of it. There were amazing producers before you, and ones that followed. But that year is where we started first time placing at convention. So many firsts in that year, and from every year we just made sure that we tried to get a little bit better. And it's been, what's funny is since that year, I have gone in saying, okay, as a coach, right? It's all right. This is a rebuilding year.
Yeah.
We lost Gabe, we lost Allison, in each year, and then next year it's like, oh, we lost Aiden Myers, we're losing all these pivotal kids. Oh, we lost Sophia Pixley, like all of these like awesome talents, and this year was no exception. I started off the year saying like, okay, we got one decent anchor, I had nobody in the control room. Those kids are all sophomores that you saw today producing the show, running TriCaster and graphics, like. And we've found a way to kind of, again, just be better because the standards are so high, and that's super exciting as a teacher because it just means that the program is where it needs to be, right? You're always going to be cyclical in terms of talent, but as long as when you're low talent, quote unquote, this is not a skill that can't be learned, right? You can't necessarily coach someone to be 6'5" and jump a 40-inch vertical, but if kids care and want to tell stories and do that in a meaningful way and they're willing to learn, like, you can still have a program. And so it's been cool to see each year I've been wrong. And I'm not going to lie, next year I feel like there's no way we equal the success we had this year. But I have said that for 3 years, and I've been wrong every time. So I'm going to say it again, and I really hope I'm wrong again. But
well, that just really reflects well on the program. It's really doing its job. You're really bringing people up every time, and letting them learn and letting them become better storytellers.
Yeah, and it helps when we're able to do that with some new equipment, obviously.
Yeah.
But, it helps kind of just match the aesthetic we talked about earlier. All right, you brought up group kind of working as a peer, and I want to see if you remember what I remember is one of my favorite quotes from your year. Hopefully you finish this sentence for me, but life is a
group project.
Man, right? It's so true.
It is. It never ends, to be honest.
one of the things I do on this podcast is you've already said one, maybe you have another, but I ask kind of what's the most impactful thing I've said to you. And this one's just come out organically in terms of I'd love for you to share. You mentioned how valuable that was, but like why or where are you finding that show up in your, college and semi-professional life?
So this has been like a recurring theme for me just throughout college, especially, is that this is the lesser known level of your saying, but sometimes you got to drag people to success.
Yes.
And it's just like a very common thing that you end up with, especially in college, and you're gonna find people who are very unmotivated, and there's just really nothing you can do sobbing about it, right? You just gotta really step up. You wanna encourage them as best you can, really bring them up to your level and don't let them drag you down. And that's just a consistent thing for me in a lot of projects, both creative and technical. It's always about bringing your group up to your level and not falling behind them.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I learned really early on through DPNews, just bringing people up and supporting them and teaching them, and not just taking over for them, but helping them to contribute in a meaningful way to your project overall.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, glad to know that the things that I say aren't just quotes that I pick off Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Like it seems it seems like I'm just, a student said to me this year actually, is like, Caines, you talk in Instagram quotes. And I didn't know if that was like a compliment.
Like with the gradient background.
Right. I didn't know how to take that. But I genuinely do try to curate the things that I share with students. And I try to find an engaging way to say it. But I don't say them. I don't look out on Instagram like, what quote am I going to say today? It's like, no.
That's the glory of it. It's just right from the heart of Caines.
There we go. Yeah, this is awesome. It's been cool to catch up. I'm loving this so much. I'm going to roll through a couple things here that don't necessarily have to do. So normally we talk a little bit about your STN experience and trip. Your STN experience has been far too long to maybe just have the instant recall of a few months. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to watch my vlog because I somehow can't find yours in our shared drive somewhere. And so hopefully that jogs your memory a little bit, and then we'll talk a little bit about what you recall from STN. And to be fair, right, the first STN team win was your short dock team's third place placing, right? Is that And so we've again this idea that we've been this program for decades. It's been 3 years, and the first time we were ever as a team award graced on the stage was that year. I think it's the first time we've ever done anything other than morning show as well.
Yeah.
And I'd love to hear a little bit more about that. But let's try to refresh the memory a little bit. We're going to watch my vlog from 2023 that tells the story.
Yeah, let's see
Here we go. Look at my experience. DPNews 805.
We're live.
High quality graphic intro right there. Smoke didn't work. And Ashton saw his long lost childhood friend. What'd you think of Annenberg?
They got some nice equipment, and I was honestly more impressed with that journalism school than with any of the film facilities they had, to be honest.
Come on, my lords.
you been to medieval times or something like this before this?
I had not. No, this was a first for me.
Cam back.
Are all of these clips in chronological order? Or like the events at least?
Yeah, it's pretty
Okay,
close.
okay.
It's pretty close.
Posture okay.
What was the individual category?
Oh, I didn't see.
No, like for you guys at contest.
Oh. Nap package?
I think this might have been my first ever hockey game.
I love hockey now.
Oh, Jude wasn't there.
All right.
It just is so wonderful to see your hard work celebrated. There are other things, we did really, really well, and I'm so proud of you. Award or not, wow, what an amazing convention. Thank you for putting your heart and soul into it, working so hard. And I'm so proud and excited to go and share this with our community and share this with the school.
Is that you with the bag?
I don't know. I think so.
Okay. Oh, can't forget about the senior nights. You still do it. It's still long and exhausting, but what seems worth it every time. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, let's fire it off.
Yeah. Applause for that vlog.
Thank you. Okay. So I won't necessarily ask you obviously what's in your vlog. So now that your memory's jogged a little bit, how about what's the one memory that kind of jumps into your mind now after watching that as like the strongest or the most vivid memory?
I don't know. It's all coming back to me a little bit.
Right.
I remember just absolutely going crazy when we got that first award. That, and I have some great memories. I think running around with Connor and Chris at the garden, the Japanese garden. getting some B-roll for our nap package. That was just a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think I was the driver there, right? I was with you guys. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Now that you're grown and graduated and moved on, late night shenanigans. Biggest memory.
Honestly, that part is not coming back to me. I don't really remember too much besides just like a few of us just like walking around the city just like at night, probably minorly irresponsibly, but I don't remember any too deep shenanigans, to be honest. Maybe some hot tubs that were definitely contaminated after, but I wouldn't call that total shenanigans. Just the nature of sweaty teens in one place.
20 deep, or what are we?
Ooh,
sometimes it's like
plus
okay,
probably, yeah. Yeah, no.
The idea that you're shoulder to shoulder in a completely filled hot tub.
Yeah, still not a fan of that, to be honest. But yeah, no, that was probably the most shenanigans that we got up to.
Fun. All right. So let's see. How about we do this? Lessons learned from STN in terms of. Why don't you talk a little bit about the production, right? So again, you're first placing for us as a third place short doc. What was that process like? Talk a little bit about what you remember about the product you made and how that went.
So with that project, I remember getting into it going like, we've never really made documentaries before. That's not something we focus on. But the way I ended up viewing it was this is just a longer form news package. Just you don't need to do anything special. Just work the nat sound, work the B-roll, put together an interesting story with an overarching theme. And I don't even remember exactly what the theme was. Did you?
No, I know it was around like sustainability.
It was something sustainability,
but I don't remember exactly.
And I remember we had a huge brainstorming session. What can we do? What can we look up? Who can we call? And that's always the first step in these projects, spending like that first hour planning and splitting up into teams and going off. And I think we ended up finding one of our teams. We found this like sustainable shop, and attached to it was a microplastics little research lab. And we ended up meeting this really cool guy who was associated with it or directed it or something. And he ended up being this really, really interesting guy who discovered the Pacific Garbage Patch, I guess. And he took us on a tour. He showed us his boat. We went on it. We recorded some footage on it. We saw his garden, his like sustainable garden. And I think being able to tell that story was really what brought us up to that placing level. Is finding a really interesting story and then nailing some of the technical aspects too. I remember that was just when, as a program, we were getting into using some of those mirrorless cameras and something with a real lens. I know I was using my personal camera for that stuff, and I think just being able to get some footage with that looked amazing on top of our baseline story that was already good. Let us off really well, and then the other teams too put together great pieces with B-roll, and overall, I think we really were crunched in the editing. I think we had a lot of footage that we really had to cut down. I remember, but we were able to divvy it up, split it up, combine projects, and eventually we put together a piece that I think turned out pretty well overall.
Yeah, as you were talking, I was reminded. I feel like this might have not even happened. Potentially, I kind of remember. I don't know if it was Beck or somebody called me and said, "Hey, met this really cool guy at the sustainable shop. He wants to take us on our boat."
Yeah,
and I'm like, wait, guys, wait. I remember there was some conversation on what this is actually going to...
To be clear, the boat didn't leave the harbor.
I know,
but I can see how it...
Initially, that was not fully communicated. So I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah.
It was maybe we'll find that and we'll put that at the end of this. Play that. Again, I'm super proud of the way that story developed and the way it finished, and again, just so out of our norm. And what's interesting is more and more that is becoming a bigger part of our norm. And the program is big enough now that we're having enough staff to like have another sector, and I think that is the most appropriate kind of lane as opposed to traditional film. Just it's still a part of what we're doing without being a wholesale shift. And so. we've had some interesting and some students that want to take that on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what here we got. Some of the questions I asked are like MVP of your group. If you had to give an MVP of that group, you talked a little bit about groups coming in other than yourself. So that way you don't have to feel like who's the MVP group?
I mean, I just really want to shout out Allison because we split up into 2 groups, and Allison really took charge of our morning show STN situation. And even though they didn't place, they made a great show, and they had some great packages in it, and I thought it turned out really well. And big shout out to Allison for leading that charge. In terms of our actual Crazy Eights group, I don't honestly remember all of the people involved, but I think between Chris and Beck, I think they both, Chris being on camera, you always got to have the person, the anchor, and you got to always give him a shout out for doing that because that was something I never really did too much of. And then also Beck taking charge and really leading one of the other teams as we split up.
Yeah, totally. I see that as I remember being a little worried, like, is Beck going to be able to deliver what you guys need? And he had all the skill, but just is he going to be able to deliver? And I was super proud of that. And again, I thank you for shouting out Allison. I know that she was maybe feeling a little like when we did this, I didn't want it to be a thing where we're removing the ability of the morning show team to deliver.
Right. You don't want to nerf them.
I didn't want it to feel like exactly. And so I don't think that happened. I thought
they did great
a really good
anyways.
story.
Yeah.
And we talked earlier, the morning show category is so competitive.
It's so,
Everybody's doing it, and it's hard to stand out in that.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a great job.
for sure.
And it was the same thing this year, right? I thought the students did a great job. We didn't affect them at all, and just, just because some judge that watched 10 videos didn't say that yours was in the top 2 of the 10 he watched doesn't mean that we didn't create a good product. And I try to remind people how subjective judging is. And
in this field especially, just it's hard to judge these things, I think, because you have to give some respect to them as well. And it can honestly affect you sometimes when you thought what you made was really good and they don't end up placing. But you have to remember there's so many people and it's all super competitive, and the judges are judging as best they can. It's tough. Yeah.
Okay. STN, how would you try to describe STN in a couple words to someone that has not done STN convention?
The convention is just a place where you'll meet a lot of other teams doing the same things as you, and you get to compete against them. And it's honestly just a ton of fun. You get to learn a lot while you're working in that fast-paced, hands-on environment. And on top of that, there's just a ton of other really cool, informative sessions. And you'll obviously get to do a ton of fun activities, as with any trip Mr. Dent and Mr. Caines plan.
Yeah, I was going to say shout out to Mr. Dent, who is the master of fun.
Yeah.
I tell students sometimes when they don't understand that not every advisor plans a trip like this. Not every advisor is adding on a magic show or a medieval times or a hockey trip or even a school tour that's not provided by STN, right? Like he does such a good job of making sure that we have a full schedule of things that are interesting, and whether it be an escape room or he's just done so many things over the years. It's just, I feel blessed. When I was a teacher at another local high school, we went on we never did STN convention. We went on some other things, and I didn't do those things. And so it's like, you guys don't understand how special this is. Like, I hope they appreciate it. And I always try to remind them that Dent trips go hard. Like, they're so fun.
Yeah.
All right. So this has been awesome. I'm not going to steal a whole lot more of your time. Here's the final question, and we may have already answered it, but so let's see if you can come up with one more, right? What's one thing I have said that sticks with you now? And I love this for you. I'm stalling to give you some time to think, unless you're already ready.
I got it ready.
That I'm asking perfect. Someone who's 3 years removed, right? It's the kids sometimes in real time, they have too much. So let's hear it. What has stuck with you?
So besides the group project and dragging people to success, sometimes you got to kill the puppies. And honestly, I think one thing about that phrase is just kind of like immediately shocking when you hear it, right? No one wants to kill puppies, but it is so real on every project I've worked on, there's always a puppy you gotta kill, and it's always really hard, to be honest, to put down your best ideas and have to give up on them. But sometimes it's just about making a finished product and making something overall, even if it can't be perfectly what you want it to. Like, that's something for me personally. I want my project to be perfect. I want it to be exactly the way I envisioned it. Technical, I do a lot of technical projects and less creative stuff now, but both creative and technical, you want it to be exactly perfect. And oftentimes, sometimes your best ideas just aren't going to make it, and you have to be okay with that. And I think that's another thing that's just really, really stuck with me.
Love it. I want to say two things about that. One, shout out ASB Classroom.
Right.
Don't kill the puppies is where I got that one. And then number two, there was, and there still is, there's this era of confusion in the program. And I don't know if it happened when you were around, but what do we call the Video 1 students from the advanced class?
Those are the puppies.
Those are the puppies. And so there's this weird transition where that
Yeah.
phrase comes out organically, and all the Video 1 students know, hey, we're the puppies.
And someone brings up,
And then
sometimes you
someone's,
gotta
hey,
kill the
sometimes you got to
puppies.
kill the puppies, and you're like, wait, what?
Wait, the Video 1
and
students?
just again, super straight face, right? No like sarcasm. Wait, you said that too straight.
You know what's funny? When I was at Music Academy, me and my boss there took to calling the other associates puppies as well. It's kind of spreading, I think.
It's good. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And it means, and again, we love puppies,
You're
right?
right.
They grow up into things you cherish and
Yeah.
love forever. It's definitely not a slur, a put
No,
down.
yeah.
But yeah, don't kill the puppies and calling Video 1
Unrelated
students
to
puppies.
the first year puppies.
I've had to do that every semester now. It's like, hey, let's clarify which puppies we're talking about. Anecdotal experiences and our time together is not what we're talking about killing. But anyways, it's been a blast, guys. This is super cool.
Awesome to be here.
Thanks for sitting
Good to
down
be
and doing
back.
this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Anyways, all right. Any other final words before we end this thing?
No, just it's awesome to be back and see how far everything's come, really.
Absolutely. So if I haven't said it yet, I want to say thank you to all that you've done for this program and all you've done for me. I know it's a maybe silly, maybe not, but I genuinely appreciate our time together.
Yeah.
I would be remiss if we have to tell the story about
Do we
driving
have to?
back.
Do we
I
have
feel like
to?
there's you can tell it or I can tell it.
You can tell it
So
from your perspective.
So we go on this media leadership trip every year, and we drive down and we do the Imagineers campus at Disney, and then we get to enjoy Disneyland, and we drive back, and we're driving back, and the Ventura freeway, the 101 up above Ventura County is under construction for Gabe's entire life, and we have to the dividers kind of push you off as they're working on one side, so you're kind of half outside of the line, and you're kind of on the shoulder, which is unpaved, and so as we make that bump, and it's a long night, admittedly, right? I've no doubts. I'm tired, and all the kids are asleep, and I'm just focused. The music's down because the kids are sleeping, and I'm just 2 hands on the wheel, just trying to stay locked in. I'm focused. I'm thinking about stuff as much as I can, and but so we're kind of bumping a little bit as we're on the shoulder because that's where you have to drive. And out of nowhere, and he swears he didn't grab my shoulders, or maybe he grabbed the seat, but I'm telling you, he grabbed my shoulders. And he starts just dead quiet, just driving, focused, tired. And all of a sudden, he grabs my shoulder, starts shaking, and I start shaking, and I have to pull the wheel left and right, and Gabe wakes up thinking that we are going off the shoulder because I've fallen asleep. And because of that, we did almost go all the way off the edge. And for the record, needed no coffee, needed no help staying awake after that. That last 45 minutes, I was good. But wow, I don't know, that moment sticks out in my memory as so jarring. That shook me to my core. I will never forget that feeling of just, again, so calm, and just the jump scare does not even do it justice. I don't have the appropriate words to describe that moment. But what I will say is, I remember appreciating the fact that you weren't just gonna let us go off. You were gonna shake the heck out of me. You're like, dude.
I was ready to grab the wheel, to be honest. I woke up in complete confusion. And yeah, no. Still afraid of that stretch of road to this day, to be honest.
I cannot drive. We go through Ventura. It's
Yeah.
just 45 minutes. Do that drive all the time. And I cannot go through that little area and think about. They made sure we were safe and scared that you know what.
That's a good way of putting it. Sure.
Yeah, so appreciate that. All right, without further ado, we're gonna end this one. Gabe, thank you. It's been a blast.
It has.
All right.
Broadcast fam on a mission today. Tampa sun shines till the clouds give way. DP reppin', stories gon' stay. Spinning visions bright in the Florida Bay.
DPNews 805! DPNews 805! DPNews 805!
I want to finish by playing my theme song that was for my vlog for the Tampa Bay trips for convention and get your feedback. This might, the outro of our video is this song, so I might play this as like a little Easter egg after the outro, but let's hear DP News Tampa Bay, Mr. Caines, and it wasn't Chad, and Suno, I think.
Oh no!
mixed.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I wanted to put. Yeah, let's see if it overcomes the expectation. Come on.
Yeah.
Just let it drop.
Okay.
DP News crew rolling, Tampa Bay invasion. Cameras locked, lenses popping, no hesitation. Mic cord stretched like a spider's web knit. Capturing the vibes, journalism legit. Broadcast fam on a mission today. Tampa sun shines till the clouds give way. DP reppin', stories gon' stay. Spinning visions bright in the Florida Bay. 4 days deep at the convention, we thrive. Pen scratch plans, keeping content alive. Teleprompter kings, queens on the edit grind. Capturing moments through the lens of the mind. Broadcast fam on a mission today. Tampa sun shines till the clouds give way. DP reppin', stories gon' stay. Spinning visions bright in the Florida Bay. Studio dreams in the Gulf breezeway. Filters and frames keep the chaos at bay. Deadline looms like a storm on approach. Journalism's not learned, it's lived, we coach. From sunrises filmed to convention seminars. Chasing leads harder than paparazzi cars. DP News squad built for press finesse. Show up polished amidst the organized mess. Broadcast fam on a mission today. Tampa sun shines till the clouds give way. DP reppin', stories gon' stay. Spinning visions bright in the Florida Bay.
This is the track that plays rent-free in my head, and it's because it's the music to my last year's vlog, and it's what I know, like in my head, that's STN, like that song, but it's because I'm visualizing the vlog, like the pictures are the vlog with that audio.
So did you write the lyrics?
I did not.
Oh.
I tried to, I didn't prompt engineer as much as I wanted to. I'm a high school teacher. That was the free version. I ran out of generations and I didn't want to wait. So I was like, we're just going to roll with this.
Right. Crazy.
But dang, again, not great. I think you can hear it is what it is, but that paired with the visual, I get lost in the visual and I forget about the song.
It definitely makes a good backing track.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So anyways, I'll share this year's vlog or that year's vlog with you and kind of see it come together. But